Whenever you're given a side, and an angle that's not between those two sides, in other words, whenever you're given side-side angle, it's called the ambiguous case, because we don't know yet if you can even form a triangle out of this information. And if you can, will it be one triangle or will it be two triangles? We don't know. So we have to investigate. So here's what I recommend. I'm going to ignore their diagram for a minute, and I'm going to draw my own. I always put a horizontal line, and I put the angle on the left-hand side, like this. Alright, so this is E, and oh, okay, it's 165. So really this picture right here is misleading. Because they drew it as an acute angle. So that's another reason to draw your own picture. Because E is an obtuse angle. Okay? So this is E right there. Now, when the one angle is obtuse, when it's bigger than 90 degrees, it's not possible to have two triangles. This will either be one triangle or there will be no triangles. Those are the only two possibilities. Okay, the whole two triangle thing is only for acute angles. So, I'm going to put this side as a dotted line for a minute, because we don't actually know if this will really form a triangle. Across from angle E is side E. So they tell us that side E is 37. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 37 here. Alright, the other side I always put on the left. So the other side is side F. So that's 34. Okay, if this is side F, that means angle F is across from it. Okay, which means let's see, E and F. Let's call this angle G. Okay, so we need to solve for the missing angle and the two missing angles and the missing side. So first of all, is this possible? Well, the reason why we might have none would be if this length is not long enough. I always think of the unknown side as a rope. So if this rope is not long enough to reach, then we'd have no triangles. So it has to be longer than 34 in order to reach. And it is longer than 34, so it will reach. So we don't have to worry about none. So we can forget about option D. So there will be a solution. Okay, so now we just have to find it. So here are the things that we need to find. We need to find angle F, and we need to find angle G, and we need to find side G. Okay, and we're going to use the law of sines. Now, the law of sines says that the sine of angle A over side A is equal to the sine of angle B over side B, and so on. And it can also be written upside down. A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. So it's all about angles and sides being paired up. So the key is pick an angle and a side that you know both of them. So we know this angle and this side that are across from each other. So that's the pair that we're going to pick. So I'm trying to find angle F. So I'm going to put my angles in the top. So I'm going to say sine of 165 over 37. All right, the sine of the angle divided by the side should be equal to the sine of angle F over side F, which is 34. Okay, so angle F is the only unknown, so I should be able to find it without too much trouble. So all I have to do is multiply both sides by 34. That way these 34s will cancel each other out. And that's going to leave sine F all by itself. Okay, so I could put this in my calculator. We're going to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so let's put this in the calculator right now. Alright, so we have 34 sine 165. You know what? Here's how you make a fraction on this calculator. If I hit alpha y equals enter, I get a nice fraction. So now I can type 34 sine 165. 34 sine 165 over 37. Alright, make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So I get this. Alright, I'm going to write down 4 decimal places. 0.2378. And that equals sine F. So if I want to find angle F, if I want to get F out of here, I have to do the inverse sine of 0.2378. And that'll give me angle F. So here I go. Inverse sine of 0.2378. And that gives me 13.8. Alright, I'm going to round up. Okay, so that tells me that angle F is 13.8. Now I can easily find angle G by subtracting from 180. Alright, if angle F is 13.8, they all have to add up to 180. So I can just do 180 minus 165 minus 13.8. So we're getting a teeny tiny angle of 1.2 degrees. Okay, so angle G is 1.2 degrees. So now we need to find side G. That's the only other thing left. So a little trick that I like to do to save me one step. Whenever I'm looking for a side, I put the sides on top. So when I set up my law of sines, I'll do it this way. 37 over sine 165. Okay, so it's just like I did before, but because I'm looking for a side, I put the side on top. And that should equal side G divided by the sine of angle G, which is 1.2. Okay, so now I should be able to find side G. And the way I will do that is by multiplying both sides by sine 1.2. That way the sine 1.2 will cancel out, leaving G by itself. So all I have to do is put this in my calculator, and that will give me side G. Okay, so 37 sine 1.2. Oh yeah, I need to make my fractions again. Hey, normally I make a fraction like this. I go alpha y equals, enter, enter. I go alpha y equals, enter. Okay. However, just in case, if your calculator is not up to date, it might not work. So I'm going to show you the old school way right now. So if I want to do 37 sine 1. And then we'll just do divided by sine 165. Okay, and I'm getting 2.99, so that's going to round to 3. Okay, so these are the 3 values that I'm looking for among my answers. So F is 13.8, which I see right here. G, angle G is 1.2, which is right here. And side G is 3, which is right here. So it looks like we found it. The answer should be C. Alright, now let's check the official answer and make sure that we got it right.